Over the past few days, there have been some airdrop snapshots taking place for XRP holders for tokens doing airdrops on the XRP ledger. So in this video, I'm going to give you some of the updates regarding how much Solo we could be getting, in fact, when they're making that announcement. And I have some information that I just heard on the Vagabond airdrop, which hasn't been as publicized, but it was a snapshot airdrop that was actually taking place for XRP holders. And I'm going to tell you what took place with the price. Speaking of XRP, billions, and I mean literally billions of XRP are on the move. In my last video, I mentioned this on the 24th, Christmas Eve. There was literally 1.1 billion XRP on the move. Well, on Christmas Day, the 25th, there was even more XRP moved. I'm going to tell you about it in this video. And in other cryptocurrencies, we can see that Matic, also known as Polygon, is now hitting all-time highs. So I'm going to tell you what some technical analysis says is some good short-term numbers to look for and what some good long-term numbers to look for. I'm also going to go over some XRP and Bitcoin short-term price analysis so we can see what might be coming up in the next week or so regarding some Bitcoin price action. And speaking of these airdrops on the XRP ledger, in the next video that I'm going to put out, I'm going to be talking about what David Schwartz just announced regarding the XRP ledger and what token issuers can actually do regarding freezing your tokens. So make sure to keep your eye out for that video. Hey everyone, my name is Randy. Welcome back to the Late Night Grind. And right now on this channel, I'm covering the Ripple versus the SEC case. But being that we probably won't hear too much news on that until about the beginning to middle of January, I'm also covering cryptocurrency news, investment markets, and personal finance. So if any or all those topics interest you, make sure you join the Late Night Grind community. And if you're feeling generous, I'd really appreciate it if you do two things. Number one, smash that thumbs up button. And number two, watch this video all the way to the end. Those really are the two best things that you can do to support a YouTube channel. So if you do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, guys, let's jump into it. So right now, I'm going to start off with Matic, also known as Polygon, which is on the Ethereum network. Right now, it is hitting all-time highs at about $2.85 as of last check before I started recording this video. And I looked into why the price was moving so hard compared to, well, really everything else, but especially Ethereum. So meanwhile, Ethereum is really kind of doing whatever Bitcoin is doing at the moment. Matic is not, but Matic is actually built on the Ethereum network. So how comes they're moving and Ethereum isn't? Well, a lot of people have been saying that Matic is actually needed from Ethereum's perspective because it's one of those ecosystems that actually helps drive down gas fees and keep things cheap and functional. And so if people are complaining about non-usage of Ethereum network, the extremely high gas fees, then yes, they're going to be participating in things like Polygon, which is an ecosystem supported by the Ethereum network. So if you are an ETH holder, this is some good news for your network, but that's kind of really the only good news for your network. But nonetheless, I looked at some short-term technical analysis, and what they're saying is right now there seems to be a little bit of a divergence on the RSI, which for a short term could be a good thing, but for the long term doesn't really spell out a whole lot. So some short term price analysis for Matic seem to be in the $3.25 to $3.50 range. Long term though, and depending on the rest of this Bitcoin bull run, they're looking at around $8 for Matic to reach. And speaking of bull runs, there's a lot of new charts that people come out with every single day. And I follow a lot of these technical analysis, but specifically I follow the on-chain analysis because it kind of shows what's going on underwater that the pricing doesn't really reflect. So a lot of these people like Dylan Leclerc, Will Clemente, TechDev52, who you can follow on Twitter, as well as many others that talk about the on-chain data, have pointed to some recent price action that you should be looking at in terms of resistance and support. Right now, Bitcoin is trading at around 51,000-ish, and that seems to be a big resistance level. I've seen actually in the past couple of weeks, Bitcoin has gone up and touched right under 52,000 and was rejected not once but twice, and it looks like it's heading there for a third time. So will it actually crack through? Well, that's what we're going to see. In fact, Will Clemente has recently said that he expects that he's essentially waiting for about that $53,000 level to be cracked before committing and saying, yep, it looks like this bull run is continuing to commence, essentially paying for that confirmation, as he put it. But he's not the only one. Some of those other guys that I mentioned basically said the same thing, that there is a $52,000 to $53,000 resistance level that needs to be flipped in order for them to feel a little more comfortable. And what's coming after that? Well, the amazingly accurate 0.618 on the Fibonacci retracement level comes in at around 59,000 or so, and that's what a lot of people are looking to for the next resistance level. In other words, if Bitcoin passes 53, it should be a near straight shot to 57, 58,000 before it starts seeing these resistance levels. And in terms of XRP, it was actually just up at near $1 the other day. It's down to 91 cents. but it looks like it's turning that around. Some of the short-term analysis says look for it to be back to $1 pretty darn quick, and after that, it could actually start to make some moves from $1.10 to $1.20, and that would make some sense because a lot of people are looking at these whale movements of some massive XRP moving. Which brings me to my next point. So why on Christmas Eve did 1.1 billion XRP get moved around from exchanges, private wallets, things like that, and the next day on Christmas Day, the 25th, 1.6 billion XRP were moved from private wallets to exchanges, from exchanges back to private wallets, from internal wallets, and all kinds of things. Well, the speculation is that some whale holders were either A, trying to take advantage of some of these airdrops, some of these snapshots that were actually taking place in order to get their hands on some free tokens, but B, they're actually starting to stack up and get their wallets in place for what they expect to be a big bull run. And I'm not talking about the Bitcoin bull run because there's a lot of people thinking that XRP is going to go on a bull run of its own. Now, a lot of this is based on past market cycles and what it actually did at the end of December and things like that. This market cycle is a little bit different, but nonetheless, there is a reason why billions of XRP are now on the move. So let's get into some snapshot updates. We had some big snapshots and an airdrop that recently took place on the XRP ledger. So if you're holding XRP, you may have heard about it, you may have been trying to pay attention to it and actually participate in it. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Vagabond, not Solo. Vagabond actually did an airdrop to basically any trust line that was set up on the XRPL, meaning if you had a wallet, you could set up a trust line to this Vagabond airdrop. Vagabond actually had a tool for this. I didn't participate in it, so I wanted to make sure I got the information right when I was reading this. However, what happened with the airdrop, it didn't look like it went all that well based on what I'm reading on Twitter. There's a lot of people that said they were set up with their XRP trust lines in place, and they said they were approved to get this airdrop, and they never received anything. Now, there's a lot of people that did. However, the price movement of this Vagabond token on the XRPL took a massive hit. And I don't mean the kind of hit that Solo took when they dropped about 50 to 60%. I mean, it literally went from $24 to 24 cents after the airdrop. That is a big time drop. Now, a lot of people were extremely angry or confused or saying this is a scam, it's a rug pull, what on earth happened? From what I can tell, there is something called trust line farming that potentially took place, meaning that some very smart people, some software coders, were essentially farming trust lines, meaning setting up thousands upon thousands upon thousands of trust lines in order to get this free Vagabond airdrop to each of their trust lines. It wasn't set up like it was Solo, meaning you didn't have to hold a specific amount of XRP and you got a percentage drop. They basically just said, if you have a trust line, you're going to be getting X amount of Vagabond tokens. So of course, people went out and harvested or farmed these trust lines. There is also some information on possible freezing of these trust lines and possible freezing of these tokens, these Vagabond tokens. So right now it looks like it's a little bit of a mess, and I'll be sure to update you guys on one of my next videos. But now moving on to the Solo airdrop that I paid a little more attention to, and that is how much Solo tokens will you get if you're a Solo holder or if you're an XRP holder. Well, Bob Rass, who is the co-creator of Sologenic, recently said the snapshot took place when they said it would, and he said it was a success, but they will be announcing the official ratios and essentially how much Solo you'll get within 7 days. So by New Year's or hopefully New Year's Eve, they will have tweeted out the information, and as soon as they do, I will most likely tweet that out. So if you're not following me on Twitter, go ahead and do that there so you can get that information first. But I will also be putting it into one of my videos for sure. And looking at some price action of the Solo token, we knew that it would drop. I speculated it would drop about 30 to 50%. It looks like for about 1 to 2 minutes, it dropped by about 75% before jumping back up. Overall, it looks like it's down about 55 to 60% of the pre-snapshot levels, pretty much to be expected. Now, I believe in that project long-term. So, of course, I had a buy order in for sub $2, which got filled. So if you're a Solo token holder and you believe in the long-term like I do, probably going to be looking for some news in the next couple of months regarding the NFT marketplace that they're going to be launching, as well as later in the year when hopefully we get that news that the tokenized securities project will be launching anytime. And of course, we all know that if you hold Solo now, you will now be in snapshots for the new Corium airdrop, which I talk about in a little bit more detail that some XRP holders were not too happy about and others were. So if you want to follow along with that and any other story regarding the XRP ledger, the airdrops, and things of that nature, as well as other cryptocurrency news. Make sure you subscribe to the Late Night Grind community. So let me know in the comment section below if you actually took part in these airdrops, and if you're looking forward to more, or if you think they're not really worth your time paying attention to them. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for hitting that thumbs up and watching all the way to the end of the video. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.